It's a great shot on goal. It could be there. There it is. Wow. There it is.
Great shot.
Enjoys the snap. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Unloads it. Caught at the 15 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Darien.
Jay checks out.
Saved by Escamilla.
And a great look, great effort by Lindsay Bennett.
Trying to get an aerial there. There it is. Yes.
The Darien Athletic Foundation is proud to present high school field hockey tonight from Casagrande Field on the campus of Brien McMahon High School. It's the Darien Blue Wave versus the Norwalk Bears in the semifinals of the FCIAC tournament. Hi, everybody. Welcome into our live stream. I'm Damian Andrew. Glad you could join us on this DAF media broadcast. The postseason is here. Darien, the 3 seed in the FCIAC playoffs. Norwalk, the 2 seed in the FCIAC playoffs. Joining me on the broadcast tonight, as she has for a number of our broadcasts this season, Kari Johns, the Darien JV field hockey coach. And Kari, welcome in once again. This is, of course, a rematch of a regular season matchup in Norwalk between these two rivals. Darien losing to the Bears in Norwalk. Now they're playing in the postseason, and the stakes a little bit higher.
Yeah, so this is the second semifinal game, as we just discussed. Wilton had a great comeback against the number 1 seed Greenwich. So this is the number 2-3 seed, I think, which is going to be a really exciting game. You know, Darien played a really good game against Norwalk last time. I think could definitely come away with the win today, but Norwalk is really fired up and they won the last game. So this is going to be, again, another even match. We just talked about how all the top 8 teams in the FCIAC were so strong. So looking forward to some great hockey tonight.
Yeah, we have talked about the parity in recent years in the FCIAC in terms of field hockey. Kyle Seberg, the head coach of Norwalk, has done a terrific job. He's been on the job as head coach for the last 24 years. Mo Minicus, of course, the longtime head coach at Darien. She's won 2 of the last 4 FCIAC championships, and we are underway here, semifinal number 2 of the FCIAC field hockey tournament between Norwalk and Darien. These 2 teams met on October 10th, Norwalk beating the Blue Wave 2-1.
Yeah, so Darien started with possession, but it was quickly taken away by the Bears. Kyle's done a great job with this Norwalk team. They're very feisty, fearless, and they've got some great skill coming down now as well. Now Darien's taking the ball down the right side, which is where you want to attack from, and hopefully we can get some circle entry, and that's a great shot on goal already, but stopped by Norwalk, and if we can get that ball in again with Darien, but Norwalk is doing a great job clearing it out.
Hannah Parks of Norwalk with the clear there.
It's really good defense. She just had her stick down low and was able to clear that ball out wide. But Darien now having another offensive opportunity inside the 25. She just got to carry this ball 5 yards, as we know, before she enters into the circle at this point. Some nice 3D skill right there by, I believe that was Shea Vanderbrook. But it looks like she dribbled right into her opponent, which would, of course, be a foul.
Both teams coming into this game with identical 13-2 records. Of course, Darien, their only 2 losses to Norwalk and Staples. Norwalk was their first loss of the season.
Yeah, it was a tough loss because there were, you know, after watching the film, a few questionable, I want to say a few questionable things that happened in the game where we thought maybe you could have come away with a little bit better result. But we've talked about this so many times. It takes those 1 opportunities. That's a great lift on Cage, and their goalkeeper just did a great job batting that ball down and keeping it safe.
Jessica Montero, the junior for Norwalk, the keeper.
Yeah, that was a key save for her, not to bat that into danger. She played that ball down safely and did not come away with a corner call, which is key for Norwalk in that situation.
She had 1 save in the FCIAC quarterfinal win over New Canaan, a 3-0 shutout.
We see Darien sending this ball back again, trying to find space and trying to change a point of attack. So they're coming around the left side now. And as long as they can maintain possession of this ball, but no, that turn that ball over to Norwalk and taking this ball out wide. And she just found a foot, so that ball's going to be coming out on for Norwalk. It's a great quick start, but Kiki Tropsa has such a great stick on that side, the left side.
Kiki Tropsa, of course, the hockey player during the winter months for Darien.
Yeah, no, number 7, Lauren Deering for Norwalk's taking this ball in for the Bears. And you see a tackle coming from behind from number 4, Alyssa. So Kiki's going to get that ball off straight away, but doesn't find her intended receiver. So there's Bridget Mahoney in that center field, as we know, who is pretty much the anchor of this Darien team.
Kari, I would imagine that it didn't take much for these Blue Wave players to get up for this game, having lost to Norwalk during the regular season. Obviously, the stakes a little bit higher now in the postseason FCIAC tournament, but I would imagine very hungry to get out on the field and play Norwalk, get another crack at the Bears.
You're right about that because, again, with the game, they maintained possession for a majority of the game, but weren't able to come away with, the scoring opportunities that they would like. So this is a good opportunity for them to see if they can, if what they've been putting into practice can really come to fruition on the field today. And for the Bears, part of the stepping on this field is just knowing that you can compete. We talked about that with the Ludlow team, compete against the team you're facing that day. That was a great ball coming out, but there was no receiver there again, so it's going to be 16-yard hit for Norwalk coming out.
Thanks for joining us on this DAF Media Network broadcast. We're just underway here. Second semifinal of the FCIAC Field Hockey Tournament between Norwalk and Darien. Norwalk in the white, Darien in the black with the blue socks, moving from right to left. Norwalk moving from left to right. Damian Andrew joining you, and Kari Johns alongside me for this broadcast.
That was a key ball that Darien just got possession, was able to take that straight away, but again, not able to handle it down there in that right corner. So Norwalk's going to have another chance. If you notice, Damien, Darien's playing a little bit of a different setup this time, falling back a little bit and not pressing so hard in the beginning with the hopes of receiving the ball and getting a quick counterattack going in against Norwalk.
So far, this game has been played in the Norwalk half of the field.
Yes.
Darien dominating early on in terms of possession.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did that on the last match, and it didn't turn out our way either. So we're going to see if we can. Now, that is
number 8, Tessa Albrecht, the freshman who has had a tremendous freshman season for the Bears.
She's so speedy and so skilled. She's really a pleasure to watch on the field. And she's taken this Norwalk team really far. Now, Darien just did a great job of transferring that ball all the way from the left to the right side. Wasn't able to get a handle on that.
Well, she was involved in every goal in the 3-0 win over New Canaan in the quarterfinals of the FCIAC tournament. She assisted on 2 goals and scored a goal in that 3-0 win to get to this game.
Oh, it's a great ball by Bridget Mahoney going ahead and see if we can get... So that was Molly Hellman, who didn't actually cut back for that pass, and Norwalk was able to get in on that. So it was a good job on Norwalk, but I would say Molly Hellman as the forward would need to cut back for that ball a little bit more. There's some great 3D work again, and lifting that ball into the opponent.
Of course, we've talked a lot about the sophomore Molly Hellman this season. The sophomore forward had 5 goals and 5 assists coming into the postseason. She has been a real bright spot on this Blue Wave roster in terms of the underclassmen.
Yeah, she's really, we talked about her just being so fearless. It reminds me a lot about, is it Tessa? Tessa, their Norwalk player. They're small and they're fearless and they get in there and to use their bodies in the right way. That's not reckless, but really skilled. And it's a learned, kind of body position. It's really a pleasure to watch on the field as a coach.
No score early on. We are live here from Casagrande Field on the campus of Brien McMahon High School.
That's unfortunate. Now Darien had the ball down on the right side, wasn't able to convert anything. That was Kendall Wazinski, captain this year. Now once again, Norwalk having an opportunity to get this ball out, and it was a great hit, but no receiver again. So this is Carrie Blatney taking it in the backfield. Of
course, the last time you and I were together was just the other day, Friday.
Yes.
Darien taking on Fairfield Ludlow in the quarterfinals of the FCIAC tournament in an entertaining and very well-played game by both teams. Darien getting the better of Ludlow 2-1 to advance to this game against Norwalk.
You know, Coach Joe and I were just talking about, and I had talked to Karen, the Ludlow coach as well, about how we thought it was just such a clean, respectful match between opponents, which is what we really like to see at this level. And it's, you know, it's always good to, as I had said before, we like to play aggressively, but we also like to respect the opponents. And that was one of those matches that just, I think either team were obviously disappointed to lose, but I think respected the opponents well. Now that ball wasn't hard enough to get across by Bridget Mahoney. So that was a great pickup by Norwalk and trying to send it to the center. But once again, Bridget Mahoney getting her stick on that and some great stick work there. She sends that ball into the circle and we do get a stick on it for Darien, but Norwalk clears that ball out nicely to the right side.
Lauren Deering with the clear for Norwalk. Coach Joe Scarupa, the Fairfield Ludlow head coach in his 3rd season, is actually up in the booth here at Casagrande Field.
Yeah, it's done a great job with the Ludlow program. These girls this year were so strong and just such a pleasure to watch and pleasure to play against. Sydney Schranker just got her stick on it, and now Darien's got that ball again. If Molly Hellman can maybe just try to get a corner, that's ideally what we'd like to try to see in there, if not a goal. And there's a foot, and so we've called a corner. So Darien's going to have their first offensive opportunity in a corner, and Norwalk is going to have their first defensive opportunity to see what they can do to either get this ball out or see if this can be converted into a goal.
Our first set piece of the evening. Kiki Tropsa, of course, the inserter on these penalty corners for Darien.
Yeah, we talked about how important the insert is if that ball isn't strong enough. Now, that was just a missed trap, which is fine. We always practice these broken corners, and we actually scored a broken corner. Oh! And there is a
goal.
Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. I believe that was Shea Vanderbrook, but let's see.
On the far side of the field.
For the visitors, Darien, right?
Darien scores first here. We're going to get you who scored that goal. 1-0 Blue Wave with 21:05 left in the first half.
There's some great 3D work again by Tessa. Now, as long as the defender gets in her space, they should be able to get this ball away. Kendall Wazinski. Yeah, it's great. It was just a great, it was a miss corner, which was a great opportunity. As I said, we practice those chances, which I believe most teams do in case it happens. And she was able to get that ball over, and that was a great lift on cage.
And a lift into the back of the cage for Kendall Wasinski, the senior.
Now Norwalk is right in here trying to answer back right away. Let's see what happens. It was a great save by Erica Blaze, and there's Kiki Tropsa to clean her up right away. But Norwalk is right on that ball again, and Erica Blaze clears another ball, which will be a corner. She lifted that ball.
So Erica Blaze was busy in the last game against Ludlow, had 6 saves, and busy in the last few moments here with about 20 minutes left in the first half.
So this is when you're vulnerable after you score a goal. Generally, the other team obviously wants to get right back at it. So let's see what Norwalk can do at their set play. Erica Blaze has done a great job defensively in the corners, and I might add our defense behind has also done a great job. It was a great insert, nice and speedy out. Now that's a lifted ball, should be coming out.
Frances Mirabili, the inserter for Norwalk on that penalty corner.
It was a great insert.
She had a goal in that quarterfinal win over New Canaan, as did her sister, Jacqueline Mirabili.
Now this is the first time Norwalk has actually been in the offensive end. And again, it's where the other team is vulnerable when they've just scored a goal. So Darien's got to work hard to maintain their lead because I believe Norwalk is not going to take that goal lightly, and they're going to want to come right back.
And as you mentioned at the outset of this broadcast, the winner of this game will play Wilton for the FCIAC Championship on Thursday night, right back here at Casagrande Field. Wilton coming from behind, down 2 goals. They win in overtime 3-2 over the top seed Greenwich Cardinals.
It was such a good game. It was actually scoreless at the first half, and Wilton had quite a bit of ball possession in the first half, quite a bit of corners. And then Greenwich just came out in the first 4 minutes and scored 2 goals back to back. But again, no team is to be taken lightly in this FCIAC, and Wilton, I would have called that sick obstruction.
Well, as you and I have talked in the past, you just got to get in the tournament.
Yeah,
and
exactly right.
Anything can happen.
It's exactly right. Yeah, and Wilton is they're good. Everyone in this FCIAC is so good. You cannot let down a moment. When you're on this field, you're on the field for the full 60 minutes. That was a great pass right between the legs by Molly Hellman, but the defender did a great job getting that out. And now Kiki Tropsas has possession of this ball and see if she can find a teammate to pass to. There's Bridget Mahoney supporting her. Finding the space in the center here with Sally Cassidy. Darien's just moving the ball really well right now.
Sally Cassidy, of course, on her way to Colby next year, where she will join her sister, Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia was such a great player for Darien. Her and Marissa Baker played so well together. Marissa Baker on to Middlebury, as we talked about, one of the Ludlow players also attending with her. There's a little hesitation, not sure to transfer this ball. Now, they see a lot of space in the backfield, and most sports are the same. We try to find the space on the field just to maintain possession. Bridget Mahoney's got that ball in the center field, and she's going to probably pass that ball out. Yep.
Here's Katie Elders.
Yeah, Katie's had two, and Darien has an opportunity again, sends that ball over, and unfortunately missed opportunity.
Nice cross to Molly Hellman.
And great save by the defense again, just to read that ball and not pull off of their position. So it's tricky when you have two players in there to cover, and she did a great job.
We mentioned Katie Elders. She had a goal in that 2-1 win over Ludlow in the FCIAC quarterfinals.
Yeah, she had just come off of that dislocated shoulder against Staples, and then in the last 2 minutes, if you remember, she hurt her ankle in that Ludlow game. So I'm glad to see her back on the field. She's really a key component to the Darien offense.
Certainly resilient. You never like to go down this time of the year in the postseason.
Yeah, she's a strong girl, strong player. Here's Carrie Blatney trying to get this ball out of the backfield. And it's lifted, not exactly intended what she had probably planned for that ball. Needs to be a little bit higher. And number 16 on the Bears is taking that ball in, which would be Jacqueline
Mirabile.
And I looked down at the paper for a moment, so I didn't quite see what that corner call was for. Oh, she just called a third party. So
another corner here for the Norwalk Bears. 16-13 left in the first half. 1-0 Darien. FCIAC semifinals. The winner gets Wilton on Thursday night.
Well, this insert was so good last time, so if she gets it out quickly, it can be fairly dangerous. And that's a miss insert. Now, she's not allowed to touch that ball again, so someone else from her team has got to get that ball out. I'd say that was lifted. Yeah, so that was just a lifted ball into traffic, so that ball's going to be wide on Darien's side.
This is why we have Kari Johns on these broadcasts, for those little tidbits of information.
You know, they blow the whistle a lot less now in field hockey than they used to, so imagine what it used to be like. You've tried to make the game flow a little bit faster.
That was a lift downfield. Wilton, of course, the defending champs, too, so they'll, as the 5 seed this year, will have the chance to defend their conference championship.
Yeah, they have 2 new coaches that came in this year. They seem to have done a really good job with their program. Their girls are very talented, so we expected nothing less from Wilton. They have that fire and drive every single year, and they're a great group of girls. They have a great youth program as well. So great feeder program coming in. So Wilton is always a strong opponent. And Darien defense has got to organize here. Again, Norwalk having an opportunity to go in, just carrying that ball in, and defense is staying nice and low. It's good defense on Darien's part.
Let me ask you, how big was that early goal for Darien? Maybe settle them down, calm nerves. Obviously pretty jacked up coming into this game, given the fact that they lost to Norwalk during the regular season. But I would imagine that's exactly what Mo Minikis wanted to see, a goal early on in the first half.
Yeah, we talked about it before the game, and, she said they're as ready as they're ever going to be. And that's the truth. These girls are prepared. They know what to do. They're very skilled. They're well coached. They have the speed. They have the talent. But it's just a matter of whether or not they can put it together. And after a while as a coach, the only thing you can do is just watch them play.
And the second half of their regular season schedule is just brutal. Got off to a great start at one point during the regular season, the #1 ranked field hockey team in the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, we had what we call a soft schedule. We have a soft schedule in the beginning, which we play. The teams are, generally not ranked higher in the FCIAC. So it was a good way to start the season. But, you also want to see what you're made of. So sometimes tougher competition, which is why Coach Minikis makes sure we play some teams out of state and some other teams out of the FCIAC just to see, kind of what we're made of. And playing Garden City that match, here's Sydney Schrenker again with the ball and see if she can get a hold on that. And she did, and she controlled that well. And that was a fantastic poise on Sydney Schrenker to find her teammate right in front of the cage and score that goal.
That was Kiki Tropsa.
Yes.
On the doorstep for the second Darien goal of the game.
I would imagine Norwalk. Yeah, Norwalk's just called a timeout.
So a Norwalk timeout. We talked about those 2 late season losses, and I had an opportunity to talk to Coach Minikis about those losses the other day, and here's what she had to say.
It supplies a lot. It's you learn more from losing those tough games than you would if we had won and squeaked away an ugly win. It's a wake-up call. And, in field hockey, it's the little mistakes that make the biggest difference sometimes in a game, and that's what happened in both games. And so we're ready for revenge.
We are back here, timeout, Norwalk. Darien just scored its second goal of the evening, 2-0. Blue Wave in front. Kiki Tropsa with the goal. She had a goal in that quarterfinal win over Fairfield Ludlow last Friday. So Tropsa strikes again in the postseason, her second postseason goal. And Kyle Seberg, the Norwalk head coach, calls a timeout. Certainly not the way he wanted his Bears to start in this FCIAC semifinal matchup.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably trying to have them just settle down. It's a two-goal lead, but as we saw in the game prior to, 2 goals can be scored almost immediately. Darien looks very good right now with their ball possession. That last goal, for example, showed such poise on Sydney's part to wait for her teammate to get in proper position, and then Kiki just made sure she got her stick on that. So it was very poised and well controlled, and that's exactly those little things that matter in a game like this.
Little cold out here this evening in Norwalk. We have the luxury of being in the booth,
yes.
But you are bundled up, Kari Johns, with your gloves on and your windbreaker. Want to give a quick shout out to our director, Brendan Ross, our camera 1 operator, Will Olson, and we are back underway here in this FCIAC semifinal matchup between Norwalk and Darien.
You just saw Tessa from Norwalk Bears do some great 3D work. She's just so skilled. And Kiki Tropsa just got this ball away. Another little 3D, but no receiver there. But there's some great support by Sydney right behind her, and Sydney was able to find a foot. Sometimes you just need to slow that down when we're in possession. So Sally Cassidy's right in position here to take this ball. It was a great hit out, but a little bouncy and unable to control.
We talked earlier about the parity in the FCIAC. It's not just the Dariens, the Wiltons, the Greenwiches dominating anymore. There's been some programs that are up near the top and competing for championships. Fairfield Ludlow, Staples, Norwalk, of course, and Norwalk head coach Kyle Seberg. They've never won an FCIAC championship, but they've done well in state play before. Back in 2011, made it all the way to the Class L finals, losing to Cheshire in a tough loss, 1-0. So this is a program that has tasted success.
Yeah, Kyle, again, he's been with the program so long. He does such a great job with the girls. The girls respect him. They really like his coaching style. He's out there with his hockey stick, batting around with them once in a while. And he believes in them. And, that goes a long way for the girls, that they know that they have someone who's behind them and supports them and believes that they can have success. And, sometimes that's all you really need in a program is someone to, know that you can do it. And he believes in them so strongly. And I think that's a key to their success.
What do you think he told his players in that timeout after that second goal?
Well, Darien's doing a really good job with the ball control, I would say. So I would imagine he does have some good speed on his team. I would imagine, that he would tell them to just not be afraid and attack a little bit more and go after it, because that's what's going to get them their scoring opportunities. They're just outside the 25. So this ball can essentially go right in if she wanted to just hit this ball right in, which she does. And if anyone finds a stick on it, which that was a very dangerous play, but a great opportunity for Norwalk. I believe it's number 18 who was right there, or number 9 who's right there on the post, who almost got a stick on it, Julia. So she was in the right position.
Julia Vaccaro, the sophomore, number of underclassmen on this Norwalk team.
Right, so there's some great skill defense by Darien, just having their stick down. And you notice there was a few layers there, so once she got by that first layer, the second layer was there for support, which is key as well. Darien looking to do some inside-outside passing here, which was unsuccessful, and there's a little bunching there, which I don't think Coach Minikis would probably ask him to spread this out just a little bit. Actually, that's Emily Schwartzman who's come in the game.
Nice interception by Schwartzman.
And Tessa, the way she just took that ball, Tessa, on the move, and her first touch, again, was just so skilled in the way she uses her body. It's really what you want to see out of a player. She's going to bring this ball outside the 25, and again, she can go right in if she desires, so she just takes that one. I mean, there's Tessa again. It's great defense by Carrie Blatney. She used her body so nicely there. Great support right there, but it looks like we're going to get an obstruction call. She's got to carry this ball 5 yards before she goes in the circle, which she does into 3D. Erica Blaze setting herself and being ready. And looks like, unfortunately, Norwalk wasn't able to come away with anything there, but they're still here in their offensive end attacking. I would expect them to be pretty tough.
We're under 10 minutes left in the first half. Darien up 2-0 on Norwalk here in the FCIAC semifinals.
Now you can see Darien doing a very similar tactic to what Greenwich did in their match, was 2 goals ahead, so we're protecting the lead. We're holding quite a few defenders back, not necessarily concerned about scoring anymore. It's going to, I would imagine, become more of a defensive game right now.
So your
for
game,
Darien.
getting up early like this, your game plan does change slightly.
I would imagine so. I would imagine to protect the lead, you just keep it packed in defensively. As you can see, we already have 3 defenders inside the circle with no offensive players there. So, you can't score from outside the circle. Somebody's got to touch it inside the circle. So circle entry is what we're looking to not allow. So if you keep the defenders in there and not allow circle entry, a goal would be pretty much impossible for the opposition. That would be my strategy anyway. Oh, that was unfortunate. Kiki had a great, and then we talked about this at the collegiate level. Generally, if it's in the spot where the foul occurs, they'll let them kind of continue on with the play, which it seemed to me like that was in a similar place. But at this level, it looks like we stop it, bring the ball back a little bit more.
So the reset by Darien, Bridget Mahoney.
Sally Cassidy taking the ball. It's a little bounce there, but I think that's...
And I have said this to you before, Darien switches fields so quickly.
We practice that, and we're known for that. We're known for being a team that has 10 strong players and then obviously 11 with the goalkeeper that trust in everyone on the field. So there's a foot, so that should be coming out. If we take this straight away. So it's not just one player carrying the weight of the team. There's strength all across the team. So we move the ball around knowing that anybody on the team is capable of handling it. And
Coach Minikis, you mentioned the goalkeepers. Coach Minikis has had some really tremendous, top-notch goalkeepers in the past that have played as starters multiple years. Erica Blaze, this is her first year starting on the varsity as a senior. She has really done a nice job for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, we had some great goalkeepers. Last year, Callie, who graduated, was actually a soccer player. And, we tend to go to soccer for recruitments early on in the season. They just have such good hand-eye coordination. And any multi-sport athlete, as we talked about before, has just a better sense of the field. And especially in soccer, when you can look up, if you just have that field sense. It's a great ball inside to Bridget Mahoney, but she's got to protect that because it looks like they're playing her pretty tight. There are 3 players kind of swarming her. And I think probably if I was Coach Sebring, I would do the same thing to Bridget Mahoney. Don't let that girl get the ball. She's definitely dangerous.
The midfielders on this Darien team, certainly one of the strengths. I know they have many strengths, but heading into the season, that was a strength that Mo talked a lot about, and that they have certainly played well this year, the midfielders.
Well, yeah, so our attack players, generally Coach Minikis will look around and say, there's a few years ago, we have a player who graduated from Trinity already, but she was the highest scorer her junior year, and Mo said, you know what, you're going to be playing right back this year, and without hesitation she did, and she was probably one of the best right backs that we had all season long. So sometimes you just have to view the player and see where they can best be utilized on the team. Norwalk having a great opportunity in here to maybe get some offensive action generated. They're taking the side in on the ball and passing this ball back. So again, maintaining possession is key for Norwalk here to get an attacking opportunity, and they have.
Since that second Darien goal, it's shifted a little bit, the
Yes.
momentum. Norwalk has been attacking more,
Yes.
to your point. As Darien maybe does go into a little bit more of a defensive mindset.
Yeah, so these players all have to be marked up. She's starting this long hit on the 25-yard line, and it's going to be key for Darien. That's a nice little give-and-go pass from Norwalk, which resulted in a corner.
So another penalty corner here for the Bears.
It's great ball movement on their part. And when you have the ball moving so quickly, that's where you catch the defense off, and that's the best opportunity to get a corner. And I believe it hit Bridget Mahoney's foot right there at the top of the circle.
Jacqueline Mirabili will be the inserter this time. Her sister was the inserter, Francis, the inserter the last penalty corner.
It's a great insert, a good hit. Erica Blaze with the first stop and coming right out.
Again, nice stop by Erica Blaze, as she has played well early in the first half here. 2-0 Darien. We're under 5 minutes left in the half.
I think I'd like to obviously see Darien get this out of their defensive end now. I know Norwalk would actually obviously like to see the complete opposite. They're playing strong, and they've got nothing to lose, obviously, so they're going to keep attacking. And they're such a strong team that, Darien just has to be careful to protect this lead here.
Here's Tropsa.
She's got such great skills. And that ball just pushed a little bit too far ahead for Sydney Shrinker to be able to handle. And that was a great move by Norwalk Bears defense to get that ball out and clear it wide to the sides. It's a great step up again by the defense. And once again by Sally Cassidy, it's a good step up. You always want the defense to try to intercept that ball. If it's a 50-50 ball they think they can win, it's always a good opportunity for them to go in and intercept that straight away. So Norwalk attacking again. And ball's going to be going for Darien. There's just 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first half. Darien with a 2-0 lead. Norwalk fighting fearlessly, though, and maintaining quite a ball possession in this second half of the first half. All right, there's some little give and goes, and I would imagine it's an obstruction call. So coming in just outside the circle, Darien has a chance to bring this ball in. Once again, we've talked about they have to carry this ball 5 yards before going in or passing it to a teammate. I know she just must have said it was inside the circle. I'm not sure what just happened, but possibly it was inside the circle, and now a corner's being
So a
called.
corner opportunity here for the Blue Wave with 3 minutes left in the first half.
So Darien have another offensive opportunity, but this Norwalk defense has, again, been really amazing, clearing these balls out wide to the side. So Darien would really need to be sharp here to get another scoring opportunity. It's a great insert, nice speed. Bridget Mahoney stops it, just a direct hit. And Kiki Tropsa, who scored on that last play wide on the tip, was not able to get a handle on that. And now Norwalk's going to have this ball coming out.
She was right there, had a great angle.
Yeah, she had a great tip last game against Ludlow. She just perfect spot with the reverse stick tip, which is very difficult to do in this game.
Yeah, Kiki Tropsa having herself quite a postseason so far.
Yeah, she's just handling this ball really well again. And number 7 from the Bears, Lauren doing a great job playing on her. And there's a great step up by Norwalk, but again...
Nice tackle by Katie Elders there.
She's just so strong. Again, not finding any intended receiver there. Darien might do a little bit better to slow that ball. Now we're just at the 2-minute mark for the half. Again, Darien up 2-0. Norwalk having an opportunity to clear this ball out of the defensive end. They just sent a great ball. No receiver. Here's Carrie Botany, who's going to take this ball in. It's a good ball. She finds her teammate down low. It's a great big stick work again from Kiki, finding Bridget in the middle of the field. Bridget might go one more over to her right. And she just carries that ball herself and then sends that ball over right. So you pull the defense out, you have a little bit more of an opportunity to score inside. And there's another corner called for Darien.
Another corner opportunity for Darien. 1:20 left in the first half. So the Blue Wave trying to see if they can get up 3 goals here in the first half. Tropsa the insert penalty corner.
Now, I would imagine we'll try to take this clock down as much as possible. Jessica Montero.
Yeah, they're in no hurry.
Yeah, no. Their goalkeeper, Jessica Montero, has done a great job so far keeping this ball out of the net on these penalty corners.
Here's Elders.
Was a fantastic
That was
shot.
quite a shot.
Yeah,
by
wide hit
Elders.
the cage.
Again, Tropsa was there, but
Couldn't get a
a
stick
little
on
bit
that.
too much.
Just under 45 seconds remaining in this first half. Norwalk getting a great ball out of their defensive end. And Hannah Regal allowing that ball to go out. It will be her ball. I don't think anyone touched that. So
Hannah Regal, of course, one of the big reasons why this Darien defense has played so well as a unit this season.
yeah, she's so strong. Hannah's so smart as a player. She just knows the field so well. It's probably, from watching it for so long and being around field hockey for so long. As we mentioned, two of her other sisters, she comes from 4 girls, played with the Blue Wave team. There's a really smart play by Sally Cassidy to send that ball out of bounds with 4 seconds remaining.
And that will do it, Kari Johns, for this first half. The Darien Blue Wave up 2-0 on the Norwalk Bears. We are at the half of the second semifinal of this FCIAC field hockey tournament. Of course, Wilton won the first semifinal, beating Greenwich, the top seed, 3-2 in overtime. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be back with second half action here on the DAF Media Network. We are back at the half here at Casagrande Field on the campus of Brien McMahon High School. The Darien Blue Wave lead the Norwalk Bears 2-0 in the second semifinal of the FCIAC Field Hockey Tournament. And joining me here at the half is the head coach of the Fairfield Ludlow Field Hockey team, Joe Scarupa, in his 3rd season as the Falcons head coach. But as you told me when we met the other day, you've been at this game a lot longer than 3 seasons.
About 33 years.
At all different levels, the high school level, the youth level, the college level.
Correct.
Entertaining game, to say the least, between you and Darien. I know obviously you would have liked a better outcome, but certainly well played. It was entertaining to watch. Darien beats you 2-1 in a rematch of a regular season game at Darien, but had to be pleased with the way your players played.
Yeah, they always play hard. They practice hard, and they play the same way. It's they're fun to watch. I find myself watching them instead of sometimes coaching them.
Well,
so it's a fun team.
Well, your program has been on the rise, and Kari and I have been talking about the parity in the FCIAC the last few seasons. It used to be a conference that was dominated by
the top 4
teams.
Correct.
Really. That's not the case really anymore. Obviously Kyle Seberg, the number 2 seed this season, has done a great job. Beat Darien in Norwalk earlier in the year. Has had a couple of big wins this season. Your program has played well. I know we were talking about this, you had a tough 3-game stretch where you had 3 straight losses,
Yeah.
but certainly have to be pleased the way your team played this year, getting into the FCIAC tournament. And of course, your season's not over. You'll be playing in the state tournament.
Correct. We're just waiting to see what seed we get in the who we play in the state tournament. But after a couple of quick games early in the season, we ran up against the 3 powerhouses.
Yeah, no.
And it was interesting. I wanted to see how the kids would respond after the 3 losses, and then they went on a 7-game tear. So they learned something from those.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And worked hard.
Let me ask you while we're here a little bit about this game and specifically about Darien. Obviously, get off to a quick 1-0 lead, then they tack on another goal off a corner opportunity. Certainly, if you're head coach Mo Minikis, you have to be pleased with the way your team's playing right now.
Pleased but cautious.
Yes,
of course.
Yeah, we saw that in the in the first semifinal.
Correct, correct.
Greenwich, the top seed, got up 2 goals, and then Wilton scores 3 unanswered, including the game winner in overtime.
Right. Both of these teams have really good sticks, and they chase the ball down, and they go to the ball hard. So any ball that's out in that field, someone's gonna be charging for it. And if you're not the first one to it, then you're playing defense right away. But right now, it seems that Darien is getting to the ball just a little bit quicker, and handling the ball just a little bit better. But I'm not counting Norwalk out, because Kyle does a good job at halftime to regroup and to tell them what they need to do, and they'll come out. They're a young team. They got a lot of seniors, but they got a lot of young kids on the field also.
Yeah, they've got that 9th grader Tessa Albrecht, who's just phenomenal, having a great season. But Coach Seberg definitely will make halftime adjustments, no doubt about that.
Yes.
Let me ask you, obviously this Darien program under head coach Mo Minikis has had a lot of success over the last almost 2 decades.
Right.
They've won 2 out of the last 4 FCIAC championships, handful of state championships. What impresses you when you kind of look at her program and what she's been able to accomplish?
I think it's the regimentation that she puts them through, that it's constantly just the basics. And my assistant coach, Karen Seltenrick, she played at UConn for 4 years, and she says it's the basics. If you don't get the basics down, you can have all the fancy plays you want in the world, but if you can't handle that ball when it comes to you, if you can't stop it, if you can't move with it, you can be the fanciest person in the world, but if you can't do the basics, it's not there. And I watch Darien, and they do the basics. It's really fun to watch.
Let me ask you a real quick question, one more for you. What's tougher to win, the FCIAC tournament or a state tournament?
I think the FCIAC, absolutely. In fact,
that's what I thought you were going to say.
We're waiting right now, and there's 2 or 3 teams that we can end up, one of them being an FCIAC team, 2 of them being outside with much better records than us. But if we get them on the outside,
sure,
we're looking forward to that, because I don't want to play all these FCIAC teams during the year and then play them in the playoffs. I want to try something new, and I want my kids to try something new, and they're looking forward to it also.
Well, I can tell by the smile on your face you've been having a lot of fun coaching these Falcons, and certainly have this program headed in the right direction.
They're the greatest kids. They're the greatest kids.
That's great. Joe Skarupa, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank
the Fairfield Ludlow field hockey head coach. We will be right back with more second half action here on the DAF Media Network. Oh, great. Joe, you want to hop on in the second half? Okay, cool. Great. Perfect. Is that okay? Please. We are back here on the DAF Media Network. Second half action underway now between Darien and Norwalk. The Blue Wave up 2-0. And after that halftime interview, we've fortunate enough to have Fairfield Ludlow head coach Joe Skarupa joining Kari Johns and myself on the second half of this broadcast here by DAF Media. Brendan Ross, our director, Will Olson on camera one, and Bruce Ferguson joining us this evening.
You know, coming out straight away from the half, Darien's attacking right away in their offensive 25 now, which is really good to see. It's a great ball by Bridget Mahoney, but unfortunately no one able to get a stick on it. And now once again, Norwalk Bears having an opportunity to clear this ball out of their defensive end. All right, it's number 13 taking this ball, Frances Marabelli. She did a great job tracking that ball over to the right and then making a great pass for her teammate, but it's intercepted by Darien. There's some great stick work again, some patience, but good defensive work again on Norwalk.
Coach Skarupa, we were talking at halftime. You said Norwalk head coach Kyle Seberg will no doubt make some adjustments. What do you think he said to his team at the half?
I think he said they probably need to be more aggressive at the midfield. That's what I saw, and probably just get back a little bit quicker and cover those the posts.
There's Darien having another opportunity coming in from the 25. Pass this ball back, maintaining possession, and a good little give and go there. The ball gets circle entry, and there is a receiver there, Sydney Schranker, who just receives it, lifts it up on her stick, and has another opportunity. But the goalkeeper, once again, Jessica Montero, they're making a great save. She's still in the action there. Norwalk doing a great job defensively, able to get this ball out of their end again. It was a great hit. Shea Vanderbroek right there, and just she has such great timing on her stick, and you see Kendall Wazinski just handling that ball well, and Sydney Schranker just coming back for that ball. And there's a great pass across the cage. That was handled really well by the Norwalk defense. And Darien's still having the opportunity again, and there's Kiki Tropsa trying to come in and find something, but not able to get anything. Norwalk defense staying really strong and clearing this ball out again.
Yeah, they're covering the corners much better on the posts.
So Darien once again, Bridget Mahoney taking this ball and sending it back. Now that's what we just talked about, cutting back for the ball instead of waiting for the ball to come to you. There's Kiki on that side, doing some good stick work again, and being double teamed by the Norwalk Bears. As you can see, they're doing a great job on defense, just covering every pass that's being made.
Yeah, right now they're taking that one step to the ball that Darien is not.
Yeah. Looks like they definitely did make an adjustment here at halftime.
So we are just underway here in the second half. 26:30 left. Darien in control 2-0. Kari Johns, Joe Skarupa, and Damian Andrew joining you this evening. Live from Casagrande Field on the Brien McMahon campus.
There's just Tessa Albright again, just had that ball and sent a great ball over to the right side. Again, she's just so speedy and so crafty with her stick. Really skilled player that, can really make some things happen. She's just very dynamic. She's what you call a playmaker. And she's done a fantastic job.
Kari, the best thing about her is she's going to be around for Coach Seberg for 3 more years.
I'm sure Kyle
that's not the best thing for me.
What makes her such a, obviously you mentioned her speed, what makes her such a special player as just a freshman?
You know, she's really skilled. So, I mean, what you can do in hockey is bring players one way, in any sport really, bring players one way and then just have a quick stick to get them around in the other direction. As you can see, Shea's pulling that ball over to the left, and if she could pull that ball over right, she would have eliminated this defender. And Tessa just does that so well. She moves her body so well. And putting that along with her speed and then her stick speed as well, which she seemed to have been able to coordinate. You know, some players can't coordinate their feet and the stick together, and she just does that so well. So she's already a threat as a freshman, and can't wait to see her grow in this FCIAC play.
And she doesn't wait around for the pass. She goes up and she's looking for the lead pass. She's not sticking back and waiting for somebody to get to her.
Yeah, she's really aggressive. And Norwalk have an opportunity again here to come in. They just have to carry that ball 5 yards, which they did, and they have possession with Darien defense. Looked like they did pretty well there. I'm not really sure.
So a penalty corner here for the Norwalk Bears.
Little jab in there?
Yeah, it was a jab from behind.
Okay.
Frances Mirabile, the senior.
So Norwalk's going to have an opportunity to score, and that's a great insert again, really quickly coming out. And that was off the defensive stick lift, but it wasn't into any danger. So Darien defense did a great job just clearing that ball out. You see these forwards rushing back. So the attack is down there, and everyone's packed inside the circle, covering an opponent. And
that was a great clear by Sally Cassidy there for the Blue Wave.
Great bit of stick work there again by Captain Frances Marabelli. It's a great stick on Sally. She has such a great stick. Number 13 taking this ball in, Frances Marabelli again. She's a senior captain for the Norwalk Bears. Just bring it back to the spot where the foul was. And once again, she's got to carry that ball 5 yards or pass it to a teammate. She's brought it back about 2 and gone forward about 1. So I'd say that wasn't enough, but that's always a tough call to make, right, Joe?
It is.
That was 3 yards in my.
You can't stop to count the yards sometimes.
No.
A majority of the time, the refs get it right.
Yeah.
For all the calls they make.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
majority
it's
of the
so tough. That was a great ball. Sydney just gone to foot there, so Darien will have this ball here.
Yeah, that was off of number 6's stick.
Right here's Shea Vanderbroek, who has some really good vision. Now they've just got to give Sydney 5 yards to receive that ball. Great 3D work there for Sydney Shrinker. And unfortunately called against her. And now it's a great hit by number 13 getting that ball out. Frances Marabelli, she seems to be all over the field for the Norwalk Bears. Shea nice and strong. Found a foot there, but didn't quite get that called. And there's Bridget Mahoney's going to back off that ball. Number 15 taking that for the Bears, Elizabeth Burke. Yeah, there's a stick obstruction from Shea Vanderbroek coming from behind. All right, so Norwalk attacking again. They're really coming out strong here in the second half, which is nothing less than what we'd expect from a team coming down 2-0.
Yeah, we noticed a little bit of a momentum shift towards the end of the first half. You had said to me that they were playing
Played a little more aggressive defense, yeah.
That's great defense by Darien, just keeping their stick low and kind of a triple team right there, and that ball should be coming out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not. And now we're definitely coming out. Sydney did a great job on that. So umpire Michelle just asking them to bring that ball back to the spot of the foul again.
Kari, I asked Coach Garupa what he thought Kyle Seberg said to his team at the half. What do you think Mo Minikis said to the Blue Wave players at the half, up 2 goals?
You know what? Darien is playing very well this match. They just need to maintain their composure, keep playing really well. If they continue to play the way they're playing, and there's number 8, Tessa, once again, just such a strong player. She was able to get a corner from, I believe that was Kiki Trops, who came from behind or at least sideways and made a stick tackle. But just keep their composure and play as they're doing. They're doing a great job, and if they continue to move the ball the way they do, I see this ending up favorably. But Norwalk is not letting up, as they should not, and they're a very tough team. Great insert again, and there's just a little slip left. They're able to get past the first defense, and Erica Blaze with a great save.
Yeah,
and
she came out. She made a great save right there, because if she had stayed back, that probably would have left part of that goal open.
Elizabeth Burke of Norwalk with the shot. Blaze with a nice save. We're nearly 10 minutes into the second half. Blue Wave still up 2-0.
Norwalk team is doing a great job just keeping their offensive opportunities going. This little 3D there again and sending that ball into the circle. 16-yard hit for Darien. Going to take this ball out now. Norwalk has definitely made some adjustments for the second half, as would any well-coached team. So I would expect to see them to continue to attack. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of a misfire. And there's Tessa, just so skilled again. She did a great little reverse, but missed that cage. Darien taking this ball out again.
She's still a little raw. She's still a little young, but I can see really great potential. I mean, I know there's probably a lot of coaches watching her.
You know, she's taking every opportunity she gets, and it's that, practice is what makes you better. So she's not afraid to get in there.
So we've got a timeout on the field, and we're going to take a look back at that Erica Blaze save. We have a replay of that, and here it is. A nice effort from Blaze off the Elizabeth Burke shot in the circle. And timeout here on the field. Darien up 2-0. 19:44 left in the game, so under 20 minutes left here at Casagrande Field in Norwalk. Kari Johns, Joe Skarupa, the Fairfield Ludlow field hockey head coach, joining us here in the second half, and Damian Andrew. Brendan Ross is our director. Will Olson on camera one. And he is doing a great job considering he is outside the press box with his gloves and his winter gear on, trying to keep warm, bringing us all the visuals that you're seeing on this live stream by the Darien Athletic Foundation.
I would not want to be him.
We are inside and you're bundled up.
Not a fan of the cold, never have been.
Gloves indoors.
Gloves indoors. And my hat. And 3 layers. I saw you out there in shorts with your girls. I just couldn't believe it.
That's one of my things I tell them early on. If they need to wear skirts and just short sleeves, I will wear shorts and a single shirt. It does get cold.
I think that's pretty amazing. And so Darien taking a timeout here, and I would imagine that
I think she sees that they're just not quite as aggressive as they were in the first half, that they're beginning to play a little bit tentative, and she's proud. Knowing Mo, she's telling them you can't do that. You've got to go back to playing your game, which is the aggressive game.
Absolutely.
Well, and both of you have said on this broadcast that we saw what happened in the first game. Greenwich gets up 2 goals, and Wilton is moving on, coming back from 2 goals down to score 3 unanswered, including the game winner in overtime to win it 3-2 to advance to the conference finals on Thursday to try to defend that FCIAC title. And we are back underway here in the second half between Darien and Norwalk. Blue Wave in black with the blue socks, Norwalk in white.
Yeah, that was a key timeout because the momentum has shifted for sure. You can see it, and Darien's got to get this going if they're going to. Sydney Shrinker just passing that ball over. Molly Hellman getting a great touch on that ball. And now Kendall Wazinski going down. Doesn't look good, and there's a player down. I would imagine the umpire should be blowing this whistle. There was no one around her, so that has to be some type of...
It looked like a slip.
Yeah.
Like one foot got too far out in front.
Yeah. We don't like to see those because that could be anything from an ankle to a knee to a
anything
calf.
from the toe all the way up.
Yeah.
So the Darien coaching staff and training staff will come and tend to Kendall Wasinski. Break in the action, 19:16 left in the game, 2-0 Darien. And to your point, coaches, you hate to see it when a player goes down, especially in a big game like this.
Yeah,
hopefully she is okay and can walk off on her own power.
She's pretty tough. Katie's down there as the trainer, just taking a look at her.
It's always a good sign.
Yeah, she's getting it. Yep, it's good.
And that's a great sign, and you hear the applause.
Yeah, there's a great trainer, and I'm sure the trainer on staff here as well is going to take a good look at her. And Kendall's a very strong player, captain, key of every play, really involved in there. So, you know, it's a little bit of a loss, but again, Darien has a pretty deep bench, so I would say that the talent runs pretty deep. So coming in, I see, looks like Daphne Cutler's come in as the right attack, number 10.
Daphne Cutler, the junior forward, had 3 goals during the regular season. To your point, Kari, a solid, talented Darien bench.
Yeah, Daphne's a good little player. She played last year on JV, and she's super speedy again, just like Molly Hellman. Really quick, not afraid to get in there. You know, different players have different talents and different skills that you look to, and it's a great ball into Bridget, but she's under pressure immediately, so just a little miss push on that ball, but Bridget never gives up, so she's able to get that ball away again. But unfortunately gets a stick obstruction in there. And now number 16 on the Bears taking this ball, sending great ball out wide, but that is a good step up by Kiki Trapsa. It's one of those 50-50 balls we talked about. She thought she could win that, so she did that step in, which is a really good move. And there's Sydney Schranker sending a good ball over and getting back into Sydney.
Good lead.
That was...
Hit the post and
yeah, got it.
And went in.
It hit the near post, and it went in for a goal.
Put some spin on it and just rolled right back in. That was a great shot.
The sophomore Molly Hellman, we're going to take another look at this goal. Molly Hellman hits the near post and it trickles in. So the Blue Wave on a roll right now, up 3 goals in this FCIAC semifinal matchup with Norwalk.
Yeah, we was talking about that goalpost can be our favorite or non-favorite player of the entire match. And I would imagine that Norwalk is hating that goalpost right now.
It almost looked like the post was going to deny that goal, and then it trickled in.
Oh, no, now it looks like Tessa's gone down on Norwalk.
Tessa Albrecht, the freshman number 8 for Norwalk, down on the field.
No.
The training staff out to tend to her. 3-0 Blue Wave. We're going to show that goal again by Molly Hellman as it hits the near post and bounces in. Great slow-mo there from our director, Brendan Ross.
Wow. That gave Molly just enough time because she actually was not in the right position, so that goalpost slowed it down just enough for her to be able to get a stick on it. But
Molly Hellman, so speedy.
Yeah, looking out on the field, this is a huge loss if Tessa's not able to return to the game. It's again, you hate to see any player of this caliber, or any player at all, but especially of this caliber on the team to go down.
So unfortunate for the Bears. Albrecht, only a freshman, but has certainly played this season beyond her years. No question, a talented player for Norwalk, big part of their offense all year long for head coach Kyle Seberg.
It's not something that a coach wants to see for either team, is to have somebody go down, because it means that here's a kid that's put in all this work.
Yep.
And one slip, one turn of the knee, whatever, and you know, that game is over. And if it's bad enough, there's a couple more to follow. So the best thing you want to see is when they get up and they walk off.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
And she is walking off on her own power, so hopefully she is okay. Again, it's 3-0 Darien, coming off a Molly Hellman goal here in the second half. The sophomore forward. She now has 6 goals on the year, had 5 during the regular season to go along with 5 assists.
Knowing Tess, she's probably asking the coach how soon she can get back.
Yeah, of course. Now remember,
it's that kind of a kid.
You know, there's a few years ago on this field, I don't know if you were here, Coach, and saw one of the Hendry sisters had taken Maddie Hendry had taken a pretty bad injury to the leg, and she wanted to go in, and ended up that the stick actually went up into her leg and was just centimeters away from her femoral artery. But she was rip-raring to ready to go into the game. She had a severe injury, so you know, it's always better to be a little cautious, but I'm sure she's asking to go right back in this game and get in there.
There's a corner off the foot right there.
So yes. A corner opportunity for the Norwalk Bears here with 17:40 left in the game, down 3 goals.
And Norwalk has been really great with these inserts. I would imagine they're going to get a nice quick insert out again. They have 6 set up on the line. There's the receiver at the top. She's sending right back to the yep, they caught it. She sent it right back to the injector or inserter. Generally, the umpires will hold the whistle if there's a foot to see if the opposition has an opportunity to score. And if that opportunity is taken away, then they'll blow the whistle, which is what happened there. The great, fantastic stop by Rusher. That was just a great stop. And Darien taking quick possession of this ball again and able to move it. A little bit more strength on that, but yeah, there would be a third-party call there. And so here's Lindsay Wallach trying to get the ball. And it's just a nice little short pass, and it's a good job on Emily Schwartzman coming to the ball, and a good job on Daphne Cutler coming to the ball. But unfortunately got her foot now. Norwalk again coming in, number 17, Mia Lanzarato. It's Daphne Cutler again. It's a great push off the opposite foot, and if she sent this ball straight down the line,
There's the foot.
A nice tackle.
Yep. There's Emily Schwartzman again taking this ball on the sideline. You see that Norwalk's doing a really good job of blocking up. They're really creating a wall here. So
and they're trying to take away the transfer also. They're putting that one person in the middle that can step in on the transfer and forcing them to do a little bit more.
yeah, which means Darien's got to come back to the balls a little bit more, and you could see that was very successful on their part. They were able to cut that ball off before it went across the field. A good step up by the defense, but again, Norwalk just coming in fearless, getting this ball around, taking around the corner, and they get circle entry. An opportunity, and Erica Blaze is down, but makes a save, and the defense clears this ball out again. Now we're going to have another opportunity to come in. They're in their offensive 25. Looks like they're bringing it back behind the 25.
Right on the 25.
Right on the
so,
25.
yeah.
So she's got to carry this ball in again, and that's, again, questionable 3 yards, but
Yep. And there's the push out just to let the defense reset.
so when it's clearly marked on the field, I think that's an easy spot for the umpires, don't you think?
I think they'd rather call it 25 than the 24 or the 26.
Yeah. Great
Nice
stop
save.
again by
Yeah.
Erica Blaze. She's
Just getting their body in the way.
playing really well. There's Daphne Cutler coming back and makes a good touch out of it. There's some good 3D work there again by number 13, Frances Mirabelle.
Blaze has played well for Darien in goal, and she has been tested at times in this game.
You know, Erica's really coming along. She has, it's just experience, and I hate to say, but unfortunately, the beginning part of the season, she didn't have a lot of action going towards her.
She didn't. It is picked up later in the season. We're going to take another look at that save by Erica Blaze from a moment ago in slow motion.
It's another good save. So that ball went out of bounds off the end line, so that's going to be a 25-yard hit coming in for the...
Yeah, Erica's keeping the ball alive. She's not just stopping it out in front of the goal. She's giving her kids a chance to recover.
Now you saw Erica just open her legs and potentially allowing that ball to go through because it had not been touched by anybody inside the circle. So that was a very smart play on her part, but I think it had hit a Darien stick, and so then it's being brought back to the 25 again.
Good step in.
That was a good step up by Kiki Trapsa. So I imagine she's going to pull into the right side. And not too many balls on the field. So just under 14 minutes remaining in the second half. Darien still up 3-0, but Norwalk really pressing hard. Nothing to lose, obviously, and they're just going hard at it, playing very strong defense and connecting well with the ball when they get possession. And they'll have another opportunity here.
Kari Johns, Joe Skarupa, Damian Andrew joining you on this DAF Media broadcast. 13:06 left in the game. 3-0 Darien.
Yeah, and you see them sending this ball back again in the backfield, just trying to find space. Little give and go passes. It's the way you move the ball. And they'll have possession again just outside of their offensive 30, and I would imagine maybe to move this ball back, so we can get an aerial ball all the way over this first and second line, which was done. And another great ball. Now that ball's got to be into space, which it was, and the intended receiver Norwalk was there, but...
Once it's settled, though, it belongs to anybody. So.
Yep.
Kari, you weren't here during halftime. You went took a little break while I talked to Coach Skarupa, and I asked him what was more difficult, winning an FCIAC championship or a state championship. What do you think he said?
FCIAC for sure. All the way FCIAC. We look at the FCIAC sometimes as a state championship.
Of course, the state tournament looks a lot like the FCIAC tournament, or has in years past.
It has. It really has. It's been a great thing. I think there's more opportunity for players in this area to participate in club off-season, which is a key component to their ability and then increasing their skill work in field hockey. As indoors played on a different surface and there's no lifting except on cage, so your skill work really improves.
Stick work is everything on the indoor.
Coach Garupa, the coach sitting next to your right here, is still a pretty competitive field hockey player herself.
Yeah, I don't want to step on the pitch with it at all. You can have it.
As long as it's still fun, I'll keep going. All right, so Norwalk attacking here, coming inside their offensive 40. Now, they don't really have anyone ahead of the line of scrimmage, so I don't know that they'll get much generated. So they need to really push up. As you can see, they have...
see, that's where you usually see Tess. She's out there.
Yeah.
She's looking for it. But they're running in a straight line right now, and you can't go far with that. Oh, Tess is back out there.
Yeah, she's out there.
Oh,
just not as quick as she...
Yeah.
Which is a great sign, though, that she is back on the field of play.
Yeah. I know that feeling. Give anything to get out there. Yeah.
Push through.
Sometimes you just want the trainer to give you the okay, even.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give me the thumbs up. I'll pay the price later. And I would imagine Tess is that kind of player from watching her on the field.
There's a lot of begging done.
Yeah. Norwalk's doing a great job just taking this ball, maintaining composure, great skill work, not rushing too hard. I want to say that should be a corner.
That should be a corner,
yeah.
It was raised.
I want to say the Darien defense doing a really good job being patient as well, though. So just under 10 minutes. Norwalk has now once again earned a penalty corner off that high kick and Erica Blaze. It was just into too much traffic, creating danger. And I would imagine this would be another great insert.
Francis Mirabili to insert for the Bears up top.
Yeah. Broken up by the initial flyer, and then the trail behind was able to just clear that ball out all the way to the 50. It will be the Bears' ball, but that was a great job by the Darien defense to get this ball all the way out to the 50 and potentially play it here. And now, as you can see, they have a 4v2 going to goal. If they can connect with their teammates, this is a great opportunity once again. But number 17 on the Bears team, Mia Lanzarato, gets a stick on that first.
Kari, we talked in the first half about the soft part of Darien's schedule, scored a lot of goals. As we take a look at Tessa Albrecht on the run here.
It's a great call by Erica.
But their defense in this game has really stepped up and answered the call.
They really have. Part of when you notice your opponent isn't using too many 3D skills, I mean, the key component is just get your stick on the ground if they're not using it. But you have to know your opponent. Now, Michelle just called a corner there. Yeah, okay, a little. I didn't see that.
Oh, a little push.
Yeah. Well, that's her.
So another penalty corner here for the Norwalk Bears. They've certainly had their opportunities off set pieces in this game.
Yeah. You see Bridget Mahoney asking the umpire question because I don't think she agreed with that call either. Speaking. Oh, that was a great little pull around, a little deception work there. And still good work by the Darien defense, staying so low and strong. But Norwalk staying strong again. Some great skill work. And I believe that was Sally Cassidy just cleared that ball out wide. Could have been Lindsay Wallach. I hope I'm not taking credit away from her. All right, so that hit a Darien foot. Again, Norwalk doing a really good job. Number 13 taking this ball in, which is Frances Mirabali. And she's maintaining some good composure. It's called that obstruction, but she didn't really maintain possession of the ball, so I don't necessarily. There's some great 3D work. Darien's just got to get in front of that ball.
I was inside the circle, so it's gonna cost them one.
Yep. So
Kyle called timeout.
yeah, looks like Kyle's calling a timeout. There's 7:21 left in the second half. Darien's up 3-0. It's a crucial opportunity. I think Norwalk just mentally has to score here to get them back in the game.
Yeah, 7:21 is kind of the time when you got to get something out of this, because if you don't, you got a long way to come back.
We're going to take a look at that clear by Lindsay Wallach. Great defensive effort by the Blue Wave in slow motion. Kari Johns, we're adding slow motion to our broadcast now.
I love it because I sit at my computer and press pause and pause and pause just to check out all of the plays. Which, unfortunately, the umpires do such a good job making these calls in such a quick amount of time. And it's very difficult. You know, when you get the chance to break it down, you can make great calls.
Right. Yeah. It's easy to be the umpire on replay.
Sure.
But
And slow-mo. But making that call right out there, just so Lil Perone and Michelle out there are doing a great job umpiring. We had Steve Dennis and Wendy Missoura doing the other game, doing a really good job out there.
yeah, when the ball's traveling 50 miles an hour, it's a little tougher.
The FCIAC championship game is Thursday night back here at Brien McMahon High School, Jack Casagrande Field. Great facility here in Norwalk. 7 o'clock start time for that championship game. The winner of this one faces Wilton, the defending FCIAC champs. And then it's on to the state tournament, and all these teams that were in the FCIAC tournament will be heading to state play,
Yeah.
including your team, Coach Skarupa.
Including Ludlow and Ridgefield.
And Ridgefield.
I generally don't see a timeout in a corner, so let's see what they come out here with. I would imagine it. Yeah, kind of tricky
There it
play.
is.
There we go. Great save again by Erica Blaze and lift up from Norwalk.
Yeah, she got a pad up on it,
Yeah.
so she was able to stop it. Somebody wasn't trying to go over the head with it.
Really good job.
We're going to take another look now at that Erica Blaze save off the Albrecht shot.
So Bridget Mahoney getting in there a little bit with her body as the opponent was coming across. The opponent had the right of way, so it's a great bit of stick work by number 13, Frances Marabali.
Yep.
And she gets a corner called. She just did some good stick work.
So another corner opportunity for the Norwalk Bears here as we are at the 6:30 mark of the second half. Closing in on the end of this game, Darien up 3-0. FCIAC semifinal matchup against Norwalk. Norwalk won the regular season encounter between these two FCIAC programs, 2-1 in Norwalk.
Good insert again. She used her body really well, but the
Flyer's doing a great job. She's getting out there and she's not giving them a chance to set up.
fantastic. She's setting up stick to stick. I believe that's it should be Katie Elders, just setting up stick to stick, shoulder to shoulder, and not allowing them. And Katie Elders is so quick and strong. All right, so as you can see, the umpire was giving a little bit of advantage there to see if they could, because it did hit a foot, and there's a nice quick start on Norwalk with a stick obstruction, so ball coming out. Just over 5 minutes left in this game, the semifinal FCIAC between Darien and Norwalk Bears. Darien up 3-0.
And this is the point where Darien's looking just to control the ball.
Yep.
Move it up, get a good shot if they get one, but mostly just controlling the ball right now. Running the clock.
Yep, maintain possession, run that clock down.
Yeah, down around 5 minutes.
You know, I don't know if you find this, Coach, but we have a hard time for the girls to understand the timing of the clock. You're ahead. There's no rush.
Right. Take your time.
Slow the play down.
Look around, see who's open. Don't try to push it through the wall all the time.
Take your time on those corners, right, Kari? We saw that in the first half.
Absolutely. No urgency when there's Tessa getting the stick on that ball. And again, just really crafty, brings that ball around to her front stick, does a really good job, and creates, it's inside the circle, yeah, a corner.
Well, the one good thing you see out on the field right now is Tessa Albrecht really showing no signs from that injury.
Yeah, she looks like she showed down just a teeny little bit, but it's not affecting her stick work whatsoever. It's a great insert. It's a quick stop. She's going to send that back to the insert, I imagine, back to the stroke mark. Yep. We saw that corner in the...
There's the shot.
Yeah, great shot. That was a fantastic shot by Tessa.
Yeah. Kept the body low, kept the stick low.
And she got
kept
that
the ball flat.
Hit her back foot too, which is a really difficult ball to get. So it was a really good job here.
Yeah, usually that translates into a lift.
Yeah.
And she didn't.
She has some really good ball control. And Darien sent this ball all the way up in the left wing, still having possession. Yeah. Good. The teammate coming around to overlap on the left side, but not able to maintain possession. So Norwalk having an opportunity again here to send this ball down, and they do. But Darien right here, and I would imagine that ball would be better served by going back. But still moving the ball around, and Norwalk having a chance to attack again. 3:33 left in the second half. Darien up 3, a lot of threes there.
We're going to take another look at that Tessa Albrecht shot. Our instant replay here.
Tessa just did another good job coming back for that ball, and Norwalk doing a great quick start there. Good defense on Darien's part, and there's Erica Blaze with a clear right in the center. It could have been very dangerous. You want to clear these balls out wide and not send it right back to the opposition, but defense staying so low on Darien. It was a great job on. I thought that was fantastic defense.
Yeah, that was great defense.
I didn't see a foul there at all.
I'm not sure where that came from.
Yeah. But unfortunately, there was a lift there on the defense coming out. It didn't look like it was above knee height, but this is the point where the subjectivity of the umpires is, we're kind of at the mercy. So 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. Great insert again, and a little slip left.
And what a recovery by the Flyer.
Okay, Sydney Shrinker's got a one-on-one with the keeper. Let's see what she does. She should probably try to draw this keeper one way. Yes, and go there. That's a great stick work by Sydney Shrinker.
And that is a goal for Sydney Shrinker, who has had a tremendous season offensively for the Blue Wave. Her 15th goal of the season for Sydney Shrinker, the senior forward, as the Blue Wave go up 4-0 here with 2:20 left in the game. We are going to take another look at that goal by Sydney Shrinker. As you mentioned, Kari, a 1v1 situation, and she puts it in the back of the cage. Hugs all around for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, she maintained composure as much as the goalie did. The goalie came out, blocked her, but she knew that she had to move one way or the other. I mean, that goalie's a wall, and you got to go around it. And she just did a great job moving sideways.
And with about 2 minutes left, that may have been the goal that seals the deal for Darien here in the FCIAC semifinals.
Yeah, I've never seen 4 goals scored in 2 minutes at the high school level.
No.
Here's a corner. Yeah, I would imagine Norwalk will try to take this hit as fast as possible. I've seen 3 goals scored this quickly at the collegiate level, but not, and professional level, but never at the high school level. But see what they can do if they can get this. It's a great insert again. Their inserts have been so strong all day. Direct hit, and Again, Katie Elder's breaking that play
I'm
up.
telling you, it's the Flyer that's doing the job. Right now, she's just not letting them get off any hits.
Kari, you've been around this program all season long. I would say this has to be one of their best defensive efforts this year. Head coach Mo Minikis has to be very pleased specifically with the way her defense is played.
Yeah, the past 3 games we just played so tentative. It just wasn't quote unquote Darien field hockey, and so it's really nice to see these guys out here and just putting it out there and playing the way how they can play. There's a minute left in this game.
Mo may be just smiling a little.
Yeah, I know what's going over.
Just a bit. She doesn't smile until the end. I've never seen her smile halfway through a game.
Mo's a little superstitious, and so she
right.
tries to wait to the very end. But
You never know.
I know what's happening on that sideline right now, and there's going to be hugs very shortly in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is a big win for Darien, the 3 seed coming into this tournament. They will take on Wilton. Thursday night here at Casagrande Field, 7 o'clock start. And we're under 10 seconds left. 4-0 Darien, and that's the way this is going to stay as the Blue Wave beat Norwalk 4-0. They greet goalie Erica Blaze, and Darien and head coach Mo Minikis moving on to the FCIAC Championship Thursday night against Wilton. 2 rivals, Coach Skarupa. Wilton, Darien, they are 2 programs.
Always at the top of the FCIAC.
Storied traditions.
Always contenders. I'm glad they're both in the large division.
Yeah.
Because they used to be in different divisions, and they'd eat up both of those divisions. So now they play against each other. It's great to watch them.
Let me ask you this before we sign off here tonight. Your final impressions of this game. Obviously, Darien put up 4 goals, but boy, was their defense good against Norwalk.
Going to the ball, taking that extra step to get to the ball first, I think made a big difference in the first half, and I don't think that Norwalk recovered toward the end. They just couldn't get to the ball. Darien was beating them to the ball most of the night.
Coach Garupa, can't thank you enough for hopping on this broadcast. You brought a lot of insight. Thanks for doing the halftime interview, and best of luck in the postseason in the state tournament with the Falcons.
And I think if the way it's shaking out, if we win our first state game, our next opponent is Darien. Of course.
we may be talking again real soon.
Okay.
I just want to give a shout out to our production crew, Will Olson on camera 1, our director producer Brendan Ross, Bruce Ferguson, thanks to him for joining us. And for Joe Skarupa, Kari Johns, I am Damian Andrew. This has been a production of the Darien Athletic Foundation. The Blue Wave moving on to the FCIAC championship game, 4-0 winners over Norwalk. Have a great night, everybody.